What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video, I'm going to show you a new mastering chain that I've been using that does not include any Waves plugins. So if you follow my channel, you know that for, I don't know, the past many years, I've been using a mastering chain that I put together using Waves plugins, and I decided to try something different, and I liked it. So for the time being moving forward, I'm going to stick with it and probably tweak it a little bit, maybe add one plugin here and there, but I'm pretty happy with the minimal set of plugins that I am using here. And not to get ahead of myself, but this is including a hybrid setup with some hardware as well. Now, of course, I have a link in the description if y'all want to check these out, learn more about them, or pick them up. But we're looking at what we got here. 1, 2, 3. I thought I had 5, but yeah, I'm looking at 4 plugins that I'm using here, which is going to be EQ, compression, saturation, and then, oh, I know what the 5th one was. Yeah, well, we did have a 5th one, but yeah, EQ, compression, saturation, and then a meter visualizer so I can see what's going on, and then a balance checker plugin as well, which I'll add that when we get there. Okay, so we're going to start this off. Oh, no, we have 6 plugins because one of them I haven't added yet, which is going to maybe surprise a lot of people. That one will kind of be secret, but we'll get to that when we get to that. First one is Sonable Smart EQ4. And we all know Sonable uses AI. And what I like to do is apply the AI and then tweak my settings from there, just depending on how things are going for the master. So I do have all this on the mix bus. I'm not in the project page, obviously, in Studio One, but sometimes I do the smart filter. Sometimes I just go straight to EQing when I know what I want. But just to see if I can speed things up a little bit, sometimes I will add the smart filter, take a listen. The smart filter on Sonable's Smart EQ4 doesn't do too much. Like, it's not going to over process things. So I find it pretty safe to use pretty much all the time. But Smart EQ4 is an extremely versatile and powerful EQ. And let's take a quick look at it. I've got it up here. And so what I'm going to do is just bypass these other plugins. All right, we're going to play this. Now, I like to do universal when I'm doing a mix. There is setups here under mixes for what you see here, hip hop, pop, R&B. I like to just do universal for the most part because I know I'm likely going to tweak these settings from here anyway. But to use this, yeah, we're just going to hit play and then hit this green button, and Smart EQ will listen to it, analyze it, and then provide what they call a smart filter.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how I in the world you've been.
Okay, so we see here we've added some low end, a little low mid dip, high mid dip, added a little bit of highs, and I immediately heard it when it switched to that. I'm fine with that. Now, from here, I would tweak things a little more. Now, you can use this overall if we wanted to shrink that curve, bring this up if we want to make it more pronounced. And we also have options. I'm not going to go, I've done a full review. Well, I don't know if I've reviewed this one, but you can use the smoothing to smooth out some, which I generally like to do because sometimes it's just a little too much going on with the curves there. So sometimes I like to smooth them out. But just for the sake of keeping this video moving, we're going to leave this here. But I also can do mid-side with this as well. If we create a band, we've got options here for mid, side, and stereo. I can click this to listen to it. I can listen to just that band. So I can listen to just what's in the mids. I can listen to just what's on the sides. I can listen to just that band in stereo, which makes this really good for the mastering. Okay, on to the next one. Oh, and we also have dynamic EQ as well, if I wanted to use that. So again, very powerful EQ here. Moving over to the next one is Sonable's Smart EQ 2. Oh, no, Smart Comp 2. Let's reset this. And this is the same concept. We can choose a mix here, but again, I'm just going to go universal. And we're going to hit play, and let this process.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay.
All right, I might need to re-add this. Let's remove it and re-add it. Okay, get that back where it needs to be. All right, try it again.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how I in the world you've been.
All right, so the reason I like using Smart Comp 2 for mastering, because it is a very, or can be a very transparent compressor, and hitting the smart filter, got 2-to-1 ratio. That's probably how I'd be at anyway for mixed bus compression. From here, I like to tweak. Not a huge fan of auto release, so let's uncheck that, and let's go with, I like to keep it around my SSL bus style compressor settings. So we'll go with around a 300 millisecond release, maybe a 20 millisecond attack. And with the, pull this down for the threshold. See how much gain reduction we're getting, because I only want to get a couple dB of gain reduction.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And
It's not too bad, but I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how I in the world you've been. But to me, you're so good, and all your ways, Yahweh, can't compete. No, your love will never change.
All right, doing about 2 to 4 there, so we will stick with that. Spectral compression is compression basically applied in small chunks. So we can make these small chunks or big chunks depending on how we set this setting here. If we wanted more, we can turn that up. Less, we can bring it down. Style, clean to dirty. So watch what this does. Right now it's set to clean, which is going to give us a really transparent compression. But then watch as I turn this up.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how.
So adding that dirty is going to add some saturation. Now, I like to usually in mastering just keep this clean for the most part, because we're going to do the saturation on the next part, which you kind of already saw when I removed this. But we also have color over here too, where we can do dark or bright. So very, very versatile compressor that I like to use for mastering. Okay, so now for the saturation. This is going to be the Freakport Freak Tube. So I've done a review on this one. This is a hardware box with 4 tubes in it, but it's plug-in controllable. I love using this for mastering because it gives me some real tube saturation that I can add to the track. And that is great when I'm able to follow it after a compressor that's very transparent. If I was using something that had a lot of color and character to it, and then I add this to it, it could very well be too much. So that's why I like putting Smart Comp before this to get that transparent compression, and then coming or following it with this. So we have 2 different type of tubes here as well. I prefer this one, but I'm going to go ahead and play both of them for you. Let's see, are we bypassed? Yeah, okay. So we're going to play this with the E83CC tubes, and then we'll play it with the 12A77 tubes.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how I in the world you've been. But to me, you're so good, and all your ways, Yahweh, can't compete. No, your love will never change, no way.
All right, now we're going to switch to the other set of tubes.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how I in the world you've been. But to me, you're so good, and all your ways, Yahweh, can't compete. No, your love will never change, no way.
All right, so I like the low end that we're getting out of the first set of tubes. So I'm going to play it back with this, and then I'm going to bypass it so you can hear what it's doing.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how, why in the world you've been good to me. You're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way.
All right, so turn that back on. So really like what that's doing. Again, I've already got a review that I've done on this that you can find on my channel. Okay, next plugin we are going to add, and this is the one that might surprise people, but we're going to go to I'm going to add the Lander Mastering Pro. So yes, this is Lander's AI mastering plugin, and I like using this is because I found that once I do what I do to it, Lander doesn't have to do that much, or I feel they don't have to do that much to it. But I'm either going to like it or I don't, and I can tweak it from there. I also don't have to really worry about my levels and everything because Lander's going to make sure that it's at a good level for streaming after it's done its mastering. So I like not having to worry about that when using this plugin. But let's play the audio and let's hear what Lander does to it.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how, why in the world you've been good to me. You're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way. Don't even know how it's gonna work out. Stroking my hands in my pockets, look around and somehow you're good to me. You're so good in all your ways. Good to me, good to me, good to me, good to me, yeah.
All right, so we can see with the Lander Mastering Pro plugin, we have a 3-band EQ. We've got low, mid, high. Not really sure what frequencies this is adjusting. And, what Lander's really trying to do is keep that kind of the control freak away, which I am. So I'd certainly like to know what frequencies we are adjusting for sure. But we also have presence, we have a de-esser, we have dynamics with compression. So, a lot of that I just leave alone because I've already done some compression. I don't need to do more compression. We can adjust the stereo field as well, which is nice. And we can also adjust the loudness. All right, but I'm going to play this and I'm going to gain match as well so we don't hear the level difference. And let's listen to what just these settings here is doing.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how, why in the world you've been good to me. You're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way.
All right, so definitely with it bypass with Lander off, it feels like it's a little muddy to me. But let's go through these 3 options. We have warm, balanced, and open that we can select. Let's start with warm and let's cycle through them.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how, why in the world you've been good to me. You're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way. Don't even know how it's gonna work out. Stroking my hands in my pockets, look around and somehow you're good to me. You're so good in all your ways. Good to me, good to me, good to me, good to me, yeah.
All right, so for this, I like the balance, but as you can see, we can easily flip through them and find one that works best for you. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. This is a very expensive plugin. A Lander Mastering Pro plugin is $299. However, if you subscribe to Lander Studio Pro, you do get access to this plugin included. And there's also the Lander Mastering Standard, which is going to also give you Lander Mastering, but you're going to have less options and control, and that's this one. So there's Lander Studio Standard, Lander Studio Pro subscriptions. And again, the Pro subscription includes the Pro plugin, and the Lander Studio Standard includes the Mastering Standard plugin. Now, I do have a link in the description where you can save 20% off of a subscription to Lander, either the Standard or Pro. All right. Last plugin is Excite Audio's Vision 4X. This is just a frequency analyzer plugin, and I like using this because I can see what's going on visually as well as monitor as well. So if we open up, and I've done a video on this one as well, when we open this up and I have the option to select, I can monitor and visualize left, right, mid, and side. If we click this over into listen, we're then monitoring that. Let's play an example of that.
And now it keeps defying.
Let's turn it on.
And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay.
So that's the sides.
But to me, you're so good and all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete. No, your love will never change, no way.
All right, and then if I turn off listen, now I can just flip through them without monitoring them, but just visually looking at those. So that's why I like using Vision 4X. All right, so there is my new mastering chain without using any Waves plugins. Again, Sonable Smart EQ4, Sonable Smart Comp 2, FreakTube, and then Lander Mastering Pro, and then followed by Excite Audio's Vision 4X. Again, I'll have a link in the description for all of these if y'all want to check them out, learn more about them, or pick them up. But definitely comment and let me know what y'all think about this mastering chain. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. If y'all want to continue to see content from me, then y'all know what to do.